relief this morning for millions of Americans waiting for another stimulus check. This morning, just how much you can expect to get, plus what else the new COVID-19 relief bill covers. And happening today, as coronavirus cases continue to soar, nursing homes and assisted living facilities here in Tennessee will get the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine, and we're going to be live with details on that. And the man accused of the Nashville bombing on Christmas Day has been identified now. Who is he? And what police say about the possible motive. Thanks for joining us on this Monday, December 28th. I'm Ernie Freeman.
And I'm Lauren Coleman. It's just before 6. Welcome back, Ernie. I hope you enjoyed your holiday vacation.
Yeah, it was good. A lot of time at the house.
Yeah.
I went in the house Tuesday. I came out yesterday for the first time. Happy holidays.
How did you feel outside when you went out there?
Well, it was nice yesterday. It was cold a couple days in the middle of the week. It was really, really cold, like in the 20s cold. So I missed that outdoors.
Yeah. Well, let's hear more about the weather from Fox 13 meteorologist Brittani DuBose.
And outside tracking temperatures in the 40s and the 50s across the Mid-South. We're right at 37 degrees in Blytheville, 47 here in Memphis, and right at 54 degrees in Oxford. Definitely want to have that coat on before you head out the door. There's a cold front currently making its way through the Mid-South, really not seeing any rain associated with it. The temperatures are going to gradually warm up over the next several hours. By the time we get to the 9 o'clock hour, right at 46 degrees. By noontime, 51 and 50 degrees at the 3 o'clock hour. As afternoon highs for this Monday, rising to the low 50s with a mix of sun and clouds, no rain, and winds coming in around 10 miles per hour. Now check out these afternoon highs for the entire Mid-South coming up in less than 10 minutes. But first, here's Shelia O'Connor with your Fox 13 real-time traffic update.
All right, Brittany, thank you very much. Here at 5:59 on this Monday morning, still looking pretty good here in the city of Memphis. The only accident that I'm tracking is over here at Airbase Boulevard, just past Lamar Avenue. Looks like we're no longer seeing that delay there on Airbase Boulevard. This is a look at the scene. This picture sent to us by a viewer. Still working to figure out which side of Airbase Boulevard this accident is on, but you could tell there is an overturned vehicle. So make sure you take it easy this morning. I'll give you an alternate route if we start to see some of those slowdowns. Live with their real-time traffic and weather every 10 minutes. I'm Shelia O'Connor.
All right, thank you, Sheila. Well, some breaking news from overnight, a sigh of relief this morning. Millions of Americans, Ernie, will receive the $600 stimulus check.
Yeah, this comes after President Trump signed that second COVID-19 relief bill last night. The $900 billion relief bill extends the eviction moratorium so you won't get kicked out if you're behind on your rent. The unemployment benefit, $300. And this renews funding for small business loans, too. The money will also go towards COVID-19 vaccines and testing, and it begins the process of sending direct payments, $600 to more Americans. So for days, the president said this wasn't enough. He said the check shouldn't be $600, they should be $2,000.
It's called the COVID relief bill, but it has almost nothing to do with COVID. Not enough money is given to small businesses, and in particular restaurants, whose owners have suffered so grievously.
The Democrats are on board with more direct payments. They're trying to get a standalone bill passed. They're going to introduce that today. It's considered a non-starter, though. Most Republicans have already blocked the effort. They did that last week, but Nancy Pelosi is supposed to introduce a standalone bill today for $2,000 payment. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, so starting next week, most Americans will receive the $600 check from the federal government to help, ease those financial burdens from the pandemic. So what does that money mean for families? Let's break down those numbers for you. Families with dependent children will be eligible for a $600 check for each child. So if a family of 4 would get up to $2,400. The payments will start to phase out for Americans who earn more than $75,000 a year. Remember, this is the same income limit that was placed on the first stimulus check. And December is now the deadliest month of the pandemic. That is according to new data from Johns Hopkins University.
Yeah, the pandemic has now killed 1 out of every 1,000 people. More than 63,000 people in the U.S. alone dead from COVID in December. And because of the holidays, hospitals are bracing for the surge to continue into January and February, 1 year after it started. But with a near record number of hospitalizations, the experts are fearful that the new year could usher in the deadliest phase yet.
We have to act like, even with vaccine in our system, we have to act like we still can carry it and pass it on to other people. So face masks, hand washing, social distancing will still be a very important part of pandemic control until we know better.
The U.S. has surpassed more than 19 million COVID-19 cases, and more than 333,000 people have died from the virus. Nursing homes and assisted living facilities in Tennessee will get that Moderna COVID vaccine today. Small hospitals in the state also on the list to get the vaccine. Fox 13's Jeremy Pierre live this morning from downtown. So this is good news for folks, especially in those assisted living facilities, JP.
Yeah, you better believe it. This morning, we're working to find out what nursing homes and assisted living facilities here in Shelby County will receive that Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. Now, the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine was shipped to all 95 Tennessee county health departments last week. According to the state health department, Tennessee received an initial total of 115,000 doses of the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine over the next 2 weeks. It'll be here. According to the state health department, hospitals and nursing homes will begin vaccinations today. Again, we're working this morning to learn from the Shelby County Health Department what nursing homes here in Shelby County received that Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. Of course, as soon as we find out, we'll be sure to update you here on Good Morning Memphis. I'm reporting live this morning here in downtown Memphis. Jeremy Pierre, Fox 13 News.
Thank you so much, Jeremy, and thanks for joining us for the 6 o'clock hour of Good Morning Memphis. It is 6:03 now, and here in the Mid-South, COVID-19 cases, they continue to grow. Here in Tennessee, more than 564,000 people have tested positive for COVID-19. According to the health department, there are more than 77,000 active cases. In Shelby County, over 1,300 new cases were reported over the weekend. In Arkansas, the state's hospitalizations neared their recent record high. Over 1,000 people are in the hospital with COVID-19. And in Mississippi, there are over 206,000 COVID-19 cases. Stores and restaurants in Shelby County are now required to cut back capacity. The new health directive went into effect this past Saturday. It required retailers to cut back capacity to 50% and restaurants 25%. Health leaders say it's due to the surge in COVID-19 cases. Fox 13 spoke to a retail manager who says the order won't change how his store operates.
Most of our protocols remain the same. When we were able to open back up after quarantine, we kind of went full on with obviously the mask mandate, and we had an occupancy limit that we started in the summer.
The Safer at Home order ends on January 22nd. And we have made it so easy to find all of the latest breaking details surrounding the coronavirus here in the Mid-South. Go to our website, fox13memphis.com. Just click the coronavirus tab at the top of the homepage. You can't miss it.
Developing this morning, that explosion that rocked downtown Nashville on Christmas morning is under investigation as a possible suicide bombing. The bomber has been identified as Anthony Warner, that man there. Investigators say he was in the RV when it exploded. Here's a look at the damage after the blast. That street covered in debris from nearby buildings. And Fox 13 spoke to a retired FBI agent who says that investigators will now look at every aspect of Warner's life, including his home in Antioch, which investigators searched Saturday night. And according to court records, Warner gave away that property to someone in Los Angeles at no cost. Investigators are also working to figure out Warner's mental state in the months, weeks, and days leading up to the blast.
They're going to talk to everybody in the immediate family, especially those that are living with him at the home there in Antioch. They're going to try to reach out to anyone, close friends, girlfriends, wives, ex-wives, anyone that's had contact with him recently, his psychological well-being, to determine if there's been something that's occurred that's caused him to strike out in revenge or to harm himself and others.
Now that Warner's name and picture have been released, investigators are hoping that people who knew him will call with more information. And new this morning, investigators have identified the man. Well, we just said they've identified him now, and as police are working to identify a motive, local business owners are still processing what happened and what's next.
This year's been tough. It's obviously been a little down compared to normal, but right when we start getting a little light at the end of the tunnel, this it all goes away in 2 seconds. It's definitely heartbreaking, and I'm speechless.
The CEO of Camping World, an RV and camping gear supplier, announced on Twitter that he would be establishing a fund for local business owners to clean up, rebuild, and seek guidance on insurance and real estate matters.
And new details this morning. Sheriff's deputies detain a driver of a box truck in Middle Tennessee, and reports show that it played an audio just like the RV that exploded in Nashville. The Wilson County Sheriff's Office says it didn't find any explosives in the car. The truck was parked at a convenience store, and the RV that exploded in Nashville on Christmas Day played a recording of a woman's voice before the blast. It warned people that a bomb was about to go off.
Outside tracking temperatures in the 30s, 40s, and the 50s across the mid-south for this afternoon. We are going to warm up to around 51 degrees here in Memphis and in Summerville, 54 degrees in Ripley, and 52 degrees in Selmer. This afternoon over in East Arkansas, 49 in Martree and Blytheville, 52 degrees in Helena, West Helena, and 50 degrees in Forest City, and 51 over in West Memphis. Down in North Mississippi, a little bit warmer, 53 in Corinth and Holly Springs, 55 in Batesville, and 54 degrees will be the afternoon in Clarksdale, with a mix of sun and clouds, no rain, and winds coming at around 10 miles per hour. But I am tracking much warmer temperatures in my 7-day, plus a rising rain chance. My full forecast coming up in less than 10 minutes. But first, here's Shelia O'Connor with your Fox 13 real-time traffic update.
Thanks, Brittany. 6:09 on this Monday morning. Here's a live look over at 240 and Walnut Grove Road. Things are all quiet here and moving, traffic moving nice and smoothly. Here's our first look at your drive times in this area. 240 westbound at I-40 to Bill Morris Parkway should take you 5 minutes. 2 minutes for the next two stretches, and then just 1 minute if you're going Poplar Avenue to Bill Morris Parkway. In the eastbound lanes, it's pretty much the same story as well. We have all this green, so we're smooth sailing on our interstates this morning. Live with the real-time traffic and weather every 10 minutes, I'm Shelia O'Connor.
A Christmas tragedy. 5 people are found dead in an Arkansas home. Coming up, details on what may have happened to the victims.
And a side effect of the Moderna COVID vaccine raising some eyebrows. Folks with who have had cosmetic surgery experiencing allergic reactions from the shot. We'll look into that. You're watching Good Morning Memphis live on Fox 13. It's 6:09.